Hey guys, you're probably wondering, who's this? And what are you doing on this channel? Well, it's me, Jules. I am the nail knitter. I'm the face behind the name. And I've been gone for a very, very long time. But there is a reason why I've been gone. A really good reason. And it's about time that I share that reason. So if you want to know why I've been gone and what to expect from this channel moving forward, keep watching. I've shown my face maybe on my Instagram, but I don't think I've ever shown my face on my YouTube channel. And it's been a long time. Some years to be exact. It's been a very, very long time as to why I haven't uploaded in a very long time. But anyway, today I'm reintroducing myself. I'm in my happy place, my nail room / other room that I do my crafting in, mostly nails. I'm in my nail room. And I'm reintroducing myself because a lot has changed since however many years it's been. Over the past few years, I've been diagnosed with a plethora of unseen medical conditions, as in you can't see them. What is that on my camera lens? Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. As in you can't see them externally, but they're internal problems or conditions. I have been diagnosed with PCOS since, well, I've had symptoms since I was a kid, but I wasn't officially diagnosed until I became an adult, maybe 2 years ago. I've also been diagnosed with ADHD, severe depression, severe anxiety, and I've also been diagnosed with autism. Now, some of y'all gonna be like, well, if you have all of that, then how are you talking to us? Well, first of all, there's no one else in this room but me. There's no one else home. It's just me by myself talking to a device, which I can do very well. But ask me to do this in front of people, I might have to change my personality a bit just to get that happening. So let's get into the nitty gritty. I've been diagnosed with 3 main things, but 2 of those things, no, that's a lie. I've been diagnosed with 5 things, but 2 of them fall under another category and it enhances what I already have. So let's talk about what I've been diagnosed with. PCOS, otherwise known as polycystic ovarian syndrome. This is a female related illness. And it's not classified as an autoimmune disease, although I think it should be because it has to do with your hormones, but it doesn't have to do with your immune. It kind of affects your immune system, but not like that. But anyway, polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, otherwise known as the kiss of death for periods. We're going there, guys, full throttle. So with PCOS, it makes you tired. You have irregular periods. You have hirsutism. Hirsutism is the male pattern hair growth. So if you look closely on my face, all of that down there, this is all facial hair. All of that is all facial hair. All of it. And that is very embarrassing to live with. I've had this since I became a teenager. But since I hit puberty, but I've had the long sideburns since I was born. And my parents just assumed I had long sideburns for the longest time until they realized that, hey, this kid's not having periods like she's supposed to. She doesn't really sleep. She's always tired. There's always something going on with her mentally, like something's not right. So we go to the doctor as a kid. The doctor asked me, oh, when was your last period? You know, the standard typical, when was your last period? And I'm like, about 6 months ago. And my mom and my doctor, I'll never forget, looked at me. And he looked at me. And I looked at him. Pretty much. I was looking at them. They were looking at me. And I was like, well, what's the problem? I'm just a kid. I'm only 10 years old. I don't understand what the problem is. So my doctor does an exam, the physical exam. She asks me some more questions about my sleeping habits. She asks me about how do I feel, and I told her I don't feel good. I'm tired. I don't sleep at night. I wake up more tired than when I went to bed. I feel sad all the time. I feel worthless. I'm terrified around people. I'd rather just be to myself. I don't want to deal with other people. I don't know what to do. So telling her all this, she's like, all right, mom, you need to look into polycystic ovarian syndrome. I'm not diagnosing her with it at the time, but there's a high chance that she has it. Basically, I've had so many period accidents in my life because of PCOS. Because of my PCOS, after having my kid, it's been a rough, and she's 4 now, but it's been a rough 2 years, 4 years, 3 years. We'll say 3 years because I didn't really have any problems my first year after having her. It's been a rough 3 years for me, medically, a very rough 3 years, where I wouldn't have a period for months, and then all of a sudden, I can't go anywhere for days because of my period. It's just the flow was way too much. It was too heavy. It was just, I couldn't, literally couch, toilet, couch, toilet, couch, toilet. That's what I was doing for days. And then it would stop and it wouldn't come back for months. And I'm like, okay, this is normal. For me, it was normal for me. I didn't realize it wasn't normal, but it was normal for me. Fast forward, my doctor suggests that I see an endocrinologist. Endocrinologist looks at me and says, yeah, you got PCOS. Didn't even examine me or nothing. She just took one glance at me. She's like, yeah, you got PCOS, child. And I was like, oh, wait a minute now. How do you even know that I have that? She said, I know why you're here. I can look at your body type, the way your body is shaped. I can look at your face. I can look at your hair and tell you that you have PCOS. And then she proceeds to confirm what she says by looking at my stomach. She said, you have a perforated belly. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Thanks for telling me that I'm fat. But anyway, you have a perforated belly. That's a telltale sign of possible PCOS. You have facial hair. Your periods are irregular, very irregular. You have a lower pitched voice for a female, and your hair's thinning at the top. And I was like, well, my hair's always been like that. And she's like, I'm pretty sure it has, but not this bad where you can see your scalp. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize my hair was that thin until I looked in the mirror after we had the doctor's appointment, and I was like, oh my God, I'm balding like a man. I'm balding right up here, which is why I also wear side parts or wear wigs. I don't usually do middle parts anymore because I got a widow's peak too. That don't look right. But anyway, moving on. So they put me on metformin. Metformin helps me lose weight, but the side effects are terrible. Like, I don't sleep at night because the metformin makes you have these really intense dreams where you are fighting for your life in your sleep. You wake up so freaking tired. You sleep, but the dreams are just too intense to the point where you wake up like you running a marathon. You're sweating bullets. And it's like, I don't like that because I'm not sleeping. I'm sleeping for a long time, but I'm not getting any rest. And every time I would close my eyes, nightmare after nightmare after intense dream after intense dream. And I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not sleeping. It's making me tired. It's making me irritable. It's making me uncomfortable. I don't like this. So, moving on. I stopped taking the metformin. I start gaining weight because they put me on birth control. I'm not changing my eating habits. I'm not changing my movements. It's just I gain weight because of birth control. That, on top of it, self was a monstrosity because that really screwed up my body because I would be fine. And all of a sudden, the Niagara Falls of period would come. And I'm literally couch to toilet, burning through overnight pads, using overnight pads as a daily thing. And so they gave me some kind of acid pill that you're supposed to take that literally slows your periods down or stops it altogether. It works, but then period starts back up after like a week or two. And I called my doctor. I'm like, it's happening again. Can I have some more of the acid pills? Because that seemed to help. And she explained to me, that's putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. You can't do that. So I end up having to get off the birth control pills and get an IUD. So far, the IUD is helpful, but that mother sucker was so painful when they had to put the IUD in. Just saying, if you ever have one of those, I didn't know it was that bad. Y'all should have warned me. But anyway, that's PCOS. Now, along with PCOS comes depression and anxiety and severe mood swings. That falls under PCOS. Funny story, I already have that stuff besides PCOS. So my PCOS magnifies the depression that I already have. It magnifies the anxiety that I already have. It magnifies the mood swings that I already had all that stuff, just didn't know. So I'm told to go to a mental health professional because I asked my primary care doctor one year. I built up the courage and said, hey, Dr. So-and-so, I need mental health services now before something happens. And before I can finish that sentence, he said, oh, I'm gonna stop you there. We don't do that no more. And I was like, what? Me and my husband were like, what do you mean? He's like, we do mental health services, but it's not through me. I can forward you a list of doctors and you pick one. Now, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know I had the ADHD. I didn't know I had the autism. I didn't know about the severe depression and the mood swings and the, drawing a blank. Anxiety. Didn't quite understand. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. So he proceeds to give me 33 pages of mental health special. Well, he didn't do it. The insurance company proceeds to give me 33 pages of mental health specialists. For those who don't know me, I am a very terrible decision maker. I cannot make decisions on my own. I can do some things, but sometimes I require additional help or it's not getting done. It's just not going to get done. So I call my sister and I'm like, hey, Bob, I need you. That's not her name. I need you to help me figure out what to do. This is too much. It's overwhelming. So she narrows it down to 3 people for me. And thank God for her, because without her, I wouldn't be here. Literally, I would not be here. But she narrows it down to like 3 people out of the hundreds, maybe over 1,000 names. She narrows it down to 3 people that she thinks will be a good match for me. So we get to 2021, 2022. All this is happening over the course of 3 years, by the way. I haven't even started that. We get to 2022. I make my very first mental health appointment when the school year starts because I am in tears every day. I'm ready to end it all every day because of that job and because of my life. It was overwhelming. Everything was crashing down around me. I couldn't control anything at all. So come to find out, get diagnosed with severe depression, severe mood swings, severe anxiety. And guess what? I also got diagnosed with ADHD at the same time. The way I was talking to the lady, she was like, hold up. Let me ask you some questions. And I'm answering the questions the best that I can. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah, I do that. Oh, yeah, I do that too. Oh, yeah, my dad does this. My dad does that. My mom does this. My mom does that. Did you know? And she's like, all right, stop. You got ADHD. I was like, huh? What you mean? She said, I'm talking to you and you have ADHD. So she proceeds to ask me the standard ADHD questions and I'm answering yes to like 90% of the questions. She's like, okay, you got it. And I was like, huh? And she said, yes, you have ADHD. Well, how, what? I was so angry at the fact that I had ADHD because that explained every little thing that was going on with me mentally, besides the depression and the anxiety. It explained everything since I was a kid. And I was so upset. I remember going to my parents angry, like, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you help me? And their answer made sense. They're like, it was the 90s. We didn't know. We knew something was wrong. We just didn't know what. We tried to find out, but you kept acing every test because we didn't know what else to do. it was pretty obvious that I had it. It's just because I wasn't the one that caused disruptions in class, or I didn't run around in circles, I was overlooked. And because I'm female, I was overlooked. Because it was the 90s, early 2000s. There was no ADHD for females like that. Unless you ran around, caused disruption, and you legit could not focus on stuff. Like, physically couldn't do it. I'm neither one of those things. But anyway, fast forward to becoming an adult. Being diagnosed with ADHD. I find out I am the combination of both types of ADHD, the inattentive and a hyperactive. I am split down in the middle, which is like the worst category of all, because you are crazy, moving fast, but your brain also moves fast too. And sometimes your brain outpaces your body, or sometimes your body outpaces your brain, and you have no idea what to do. So you get stuck and you just sit there like this, or you just go to sleep because your brain's exhausted from trying to keep up. It's exhausted. So let's move on to the other thing. Autism. I've been diagnosed with autism fairly recently, and it explains so much. It explains so much. Like the way things feel, the way things move, how much I hear, what I see. I can't explain autism because it's a huge spectrum, but I am on the spectrum, lady. Ma'am, sirs, peoples, I am on the spectrum. It is so clear, to the point where my sister was like, you on the spectrum. I was like, no, I know, I have ADHD. She's like, the other spectrum. I was like, oh. So then I went to a therapist. Yeah, I'm also in therapy. Yay, me. I went to a therapist. She's like, hey, yeah, here's a test. And she's like, you're not supposed to ace this test, you know. I was like, huh? You're not supposed to get high marks on this test, but you did. I was like, oh, well, that happened. Anyway, let's move on to why you're really here. So, back to how this connects to my business. With my PCOS, well, let's back up some. Let's just back up. Getting diagnosed didn't solve everything, but it really helps me understand my body, really helps me understand my mind and how it works. And it pretty much gave me a way to express myself without feeling that I don't belong here. Once I got diagnosed, I told my family, and they have been behind me every step of the way. Like, oh, now that we know that you have XYZ, here's some things that we've learned to help you with XYZ. What? And it has been the best experience for me. But being diagnosed helped me realize that there's nothing wrong with me. It's just I am different from the average Joe. My brain and my body work differently. It's just not a standard cookie cutter brain here or body. It's a designer's original. And I think differently, and my body works differently from everybody else's body. So moving on, how does this look like in my business? So with PCOS, my energy levels are all over the place. They are completely trashed. My skin changes, my mood changes, my confidence changes. It all moves around. It all just goes wherever it wants. And I can't control that. But what has helped me is getting into nails and getting into self-care and crocheting and knitting. All this stuff has helped me ground myself and not lose sight of who I am as a person. So in this channel, moving forward, you'll see my realistic routines. You'll see my creativity as it relates to PCOS. It ain't there yet, but you'll see it. You'll see it. Creativity that fits my energy level. And then you'll be able to see me not put too much pressure on myself to be perfect, because my body clearly isn't perfect. My body clearly isn't perfect, and there's nothing I can do about that, but I can strive to make everything that I do intentional so that it makes sense. That made no sense. Anyway, so my ADHD and my autism as it relates to my business, it has caused me to be able to hyper focus. Hyper focus is literally a horse with blinders on, and you just focus on the thing that you're doing. Now, that's great and all when I can hyper focus, but usually I'm hyper focusing on the wrong thing at the wrong time. That's the problem. I hyper focus at like 3 a.m. when I should be trying to go to sleep. Or I can hyper focus all day long on one thing and nothing else gets done. And by the time I realize that, I am exhausted and I'm ready to go to sleep. And then others around me are like, why are you always so tired? Anyway, back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. So because of my autism and my ADHD, when it comes to nails, the different textures that I create with polishes, like I can feel the difference between a glitter polish and a regular glossy, not regular, that's not glossy, a glitter polish and a regular polish, a cat eye polish. Like I can feel those textures when I'm painting nails through my fingers or through my hands. I can feel how each one of those textures are different. And depending on my mood of the day, I might want to work with just glitter because I need to feel that resistance. Or I want to work with just creams or shears because I don't want to feel anything in my hands. Or with cat eye, I want to feel a tiny bit of resistance and work a little bit harder with the magnet, if you all know what the magnet does. Anyway, also, because I knit and crochet, I experiment with different types of fibers. So far, I experiment with different brands and different types of fibers. So far, my favorite fiber to work with right now is acrylic. I like acrylic. It's consistent for the most part. It may be a little scratchy in some brands, but acrylic is where it's at. And specifically, Karen cakes. I love pretty much anything Karen cakes. Baby cakes, tea cakes, slice of cake, cinnamon swirl. I love those yarns. They feel the same. Except for, what's the name of that yarn? I'm using it now, but I can't remember what it's called. But it's like a blend of wool and acrylic. And it feels wonderful. It's not scratchy. I'm really into that right now. There are some yarns that I touch and it makes me want to throw up because I don't like how it feels. And there are some yarns that just make my skin hurt. It makes my fingers hurt. Not because of how rough it is. It's like I just don't like the texture. It makes me hurt. I feel like it's hurting me. So here's what you can expect from me moving forward. You can expect me to do some DIY stuff for nails and home. Like if you want to use, your own products that you got at home. I have let me show you what I got. I have product galore. Products galore up in this piece. I have DIY products. I have professional products. And like DIY as in you can get it without a license, or professional products where you actually have to have a license to get your hands on the products. Oh, by the way, did I tell you guys I'm a licensed nail tech? Yes, I got licensed during my absence. But here's what we're going to be doing. And I'm reading off a list here because I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. DIY nails you can do at home. Nail art from a professional. Press-ons. And then the business aspect of press-ons as it relates to PCOS and autism and ADHD. Hand knit and crochet stuff. Now I'm working on recreating what I see, not creating what I want. I'm not the type that can create from the top of my head when it comes to patterns. I recreate and alter. That's what I'm used to. You're going to see a lot of behind the scenes of me selling stuff or creating things about my markets. I do markets too, but I haven't really signed up for any this year because that's a whole other video to get into about markets. I'm going to have honest conversations about how my PCOS, ADHD, and autism affect my business. I'm going to have those honest conversations with y'all. And art that respects my rest, my energy, and something that helps me with my self-acceptance. Same creativity from before, just it aligns with me, with all my diagnoses and who I am. I can't promise you perfect consistency, because being a neurodivergent, look up that word, neurodivergent. Being a neurodivergent means consistency is out of the question, but I can try my best. But I'm going to be everything I can authentically and creatively, and just do the best I can and share with you all me doing the best that I can. So if you are neurodivergent, navigating PCOS, autism, or ADHD, you love nails, you love yarn, you want to hear some professional tips from a nail professional, or some, I don't know, you're just here for me, or you're just here to support me, or you're just here. And I'm glad that you are here. That is a good thing to be here. Yeah, if you're here just for any of that stuff, introduce yourself in the comments. Tell me you have PCOS, or you've been diagnosed with ADHD, or you're autistic, you have depression, you have anxiety, you have bipolar. Tell me all of that stuff, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay. This is a safe place to tell me what you have, because I have stuff too. But introduce yourself in the comments. Tell me what you're making. If you do nails, if you crochet, if you knit, if you do other crafts, let me know. If you've been diagnosed with stuff and you run a business, let me know. That would be wonderful. Anyway, thank you all for supporting me, the nail knitter, and every version of me. And from now on, this is a new chapter, and I'm really glad y'all are here with me. But now it's time to move on and to be consistent the best that I can and keep my peace. It is very important that I keep my peace throughout this journey. Thanks, guys. Bye.